The following presentation is a segment that was cut from the BioShock Infinite Red Pill review. Its working title was Fink and the Red Pill. It was deemed to be superfluous by the review's director, in addition to the fact that several mistakes in the voiceover would have required bringing talent back into the recording studio. The project's producers, actors, financiers, screen testers, and caterers all gave unanimous consent for its removal from the final cut. Now please enjoy this deleted scene.
These issues are related to the Vox Populi conflict that is a main element of the game's storyline, but it could have been done without these ostentatious displays to yell at the player that
racists be around.
Unfortunately, the game is no less absurd when it comes to its portrayal of Jeremiah Fink and the mega corporation he runs, Fink Industries. Cartoonish, cartoonish, cartoonish. Just listen to the man speak for a bit.
Funny new ideas. Paid vacation. 8-hour days. Workers' compensation. Those are anarchist words, my friends. And the anarchist is the friend of hunger, the comrade of want, and the partner of disease. And I, for one, will be goddamned if I'm going to let an anarchist come between you and your livelihood.
Yeah, all that stuff that you modern people playing this game think is really good, well, Fink, he just says it's bad. He may as well have just come out and say that sunshine is bad. Fun is bad. Truth even is bad. You know, I don't have a problem with any of this on an ideological level. I simply think that it's boring. It's society-wide prejudices about the past put into video game form. It's old hat. It's predictable. And as a result, it's not entertaining. Now, I'll grant the possibility that it's the red pill perspective that makes me be not entertained. Now, what a gamer playing this with a blue pill perspective might experience is an inversion of his values and his reality. He's hearing things said that nobody of significance would ever seriously say in real life, being loudly and proudly exclaimed over the virtual public address system. That could be a striking moment for those fully jacked into the current paradigm of acceptable thought and ideas. In the reality of BioShock Infinite as compared to his own, his up is their down, left is right, and 10 divided by 10 equals 100. For people who often consider ideas beyond the limits of what is socially acceptable in whatever place at whatever point in time they happen to live in, this type of setting may not necessarily be such an upset. BioShock Infinite strives to create a world that is strange to the senses, but its strangeness is calibrated to be strange specifically to people who accept all of the modern dogmas of humanism, universal equality, and social democracy. For those whose mentality exists beyond the boundaries of what is currently conventional, they live the experience of considering ideas directly opposed to the contemporary zeitgeist every single day. For such people, the type of out-of-bounds experience Irrational Games and Ken Levine attempted to create with characters like Fink may not be nearly far enough out of bounds to provide that sensation of residing within bizarro world. BioShock Infinite is so firmly founded in modern prejudices about the past that its portrayal of a robber baron in Fink demonstrates just why those prejudices are so flawed. Fink speaks on the moral necessity of work.
You know, I wasn't born deaf. I hear what it is people are saying. Why is it, Mr. Fink, that we have to work 16 hours a day? Now, let's be clear. I would like nothing more than to shorten your workday. But the fact is, I simply can't. Why not, you ask? Well, I can sum it up for you in one word. Morality. You see, my friends, the idle hand is the tool of the devil. You take industry from a man's hand, and what goes in its place? Whiskey, women, and dice. And I, for one, will not have that in our friendly little town. No, sir. I will not!
Okay, that's fine. But in a later area, I came across the service elevator to Finkton proper, and the guy has no damn jobs.
We are not looking for any help.
Alone.
You hear that?
No,
No
sir.
help.
How are we going to get into Finkton?
Illegally.
Huge banners proclaim, no jobs. Why the hell not? Of course, the game gives no explanation whatsoever for why there would be no jobs at Fink Industries. You have to realize, when someone is creating fiction, they can do pretty much whatever they want. That's the benefit of presenting a tiny, wafer-thin slice of a fictional reality. They don't have to worry about making sure that everything behind the curtain that the player isn't specifically shown makes sense. When they create a street for the player to walk down, they don't have to spend the time or energy coming up with interiors for every single house. They simply say, okay, these doors are closed, locked, and inaccessible, and the player will most likely accept it without protest. Creators of fiction have free rein to shape your perception of the reality they are constructing, but there are certain limits. So when an apparent contradiction like this with Mr. Fink appears, the developers are just hoping that you don't notice and simply accept it as real. In this case, it appears that the developers were just ticking off the check marks of the robber baron stereotype, believing that the audience would not notice the fact that it's absurd for all of them to be exhibited by one man. For me personally, it wasn't hearing Fink's ridiculous speeches that made my journey through his domain a freaky experience. Just take in the ambiance of the shipping docks for a few moments. The loudspeaker plays raucous, periodic clanks atop an atonal, arrhythmic melody played by a distorted instrument of indiscernible type. The workers, no matter if they are scrubbing floors or banging hammers, all act in synchronicity with these clanks. Even gigantic gears follow this terrible tune. This is the kind of stuff that BioShock does best, when it's not screaming its weirdness at you, and you have to pay some damn attention to notice just how screwed up things are.
I love you now, you hurt me so. Oh, I'm gonna pack my bags and go.
And since we're talking about weirdness, I suppose I've put this off long enough. I've spoken plenty of the setting, excellently realized and interesting as it is, but there is much more to this game.